If you have a high-end Dynasty rookie pick this offseason, do not draft Kenneth Walker. For background, if you haven't watched our Dynasty Superflex rookie mock draft, the link is in the description below. Kenneth Walker slipped all the way to the 12th pick, much to the disgust of Dynasty players viewing and commenting on this video. Personally, I think Walker's value should settle in somewhere between the 107 and 110. I would have taken him with the 10th overall pick in this draft ahead of Jahan Dotson and James Cook. Even at the 10th overall pick, that's way lower than he's going to go in the majority of rookie drafts this offseason and way lower than his ADP is going to settle in at. There's three reasons here why we're lower on the market. First, running back value in general is misunderstood in Dynasty. Unless you're in win now mode, running backs are a risky proposition. Teams drafting near the top of the draft are often not in win now mode. Running backs get injured more frequently. This is obvious, but it increases risk massively. You need to be the player productive when you are trying to win, or to be an asset you can trade for something that helps you when you are ready to win. Running backs are more dependent on volume than skill, something that can be given or taken away quickly. Just look at Michael Carter for the Jets, who seemed like a nice dynasty buy low this offseason after a good rookie year, and all of a sudden the team drafts Breece Hall, making Carter more or less expendable. Next, Walker hasn't demonstrated pass catching ability. Let's look at Walker's receiving profile and other players like him. He had just 19 total receptions in 3 college seasons, and his best team reception share was a measly 5.4%. According to JJ Zachariason of LateRound.com in his prospect guide, since 2011, we've seen 17 running backs drafted outside of the first round, but in the top 100 who had a best college season reception share under 8%. Over the first 3 years of these players' careers, none of them had a single season over 16 PPR points per game. Does this mean for sure he won't transition into a 3-down workhorse? No, but the odds are heavily against him. Would you be happy about spending high-end dynasty pick for a 2-down back? How often do you see significant trade value recouped from 2-down running backs? Finally, the landing spot is not good. We think the market may not have reacted enough to how bad this offense could be for the foreseeable future, as Seattle has been a strong fantasy offense for a decade because of Russell Wilson quarterbacking that team. Now the Seahawks have no QB. They have a boomer coach. This team is going to be at the bottom of the league in plays run per game and the bottom of the league in points per game. That is a death sentence for running backs, especially game script dependent ones. That's the definition of systemic risk for what is likely to be a game script dependent running back in Kenneth Walker. We aren't necessarily concerned about competition from Chris Carson and Rashad Penny in particular, but all factors considered, it's not as clean of a situation as you would like. If you draft Kenneth Walker, I think you need to be prepared to see a lot of box scores that show 14 carries, 65 yards, no touchdowns, maybe 1 to 2 catches. That simply doesn't move the needle. Again, if you're trying to win now, we don't hate Walker. He's likely to be a mid to low end running back too for a few years, and then who knows. For him to pay off long-term though, what you are betting on is this. He's a better prospect than others like him, and Seattle's offense is much better than we think it will be moving forward. Finally, we want to be clear that we're not always lower than the market on running backs. We even have Breece Hall ranked as either the 1st or 2nd overall pick in rookie drafts this offseason, depending on what your team needs are. Truly elite talents like Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, or others who from a skill perspective and a draft capital perspective are just so much more likely to be highly productive 3-down players where that upside makes a high draft pick worth the risk. These players can be much more easily traded a few years down the line, whereas a non-elite running back is much more at risk of losing playing time even if injury is avoided, which craters their trade value.